beginning of the GSTs to remind us what the GSTs are meant for, especially just 101 and 102. 102 is a continuation of 101, and the main focus of 102 is to create a perfect writer, a good writer in you. So if you truly go through this course, if you do not just read the course material when the exam is 1 week because you just want to pass the exam, if you truly go through this course with your heart, at the end of the course material, you'll be a good writer of any form of essay or write-up. You'll be able to write a seminar, you'll be able to write a project, you'll be able to write a memo, a minute, or that's just any form of writing you can imagine. You should be able to write them professionally. They shouldn't tell you to write a memo at the end of this course, and you'll be thinking, a memo, how did they used to do it? If you are still like that at the end of this course, I mean, by the time you are done with this course in 100 level second semester, it means you have not gone through the course at all. So let's leave all of that. Who will remind us what we did in the last class before we move on to what we want to do today? Yes, a reminder. What did we do in the last class? We started the paragraph, if you remember. So, yes, anybody? What did we do in the last class?
I was just joining for the first time.
Okay, sir. Let's leave that to those that attended. But I know to some degree, everybody here will say that they were not in the last class. That has been the trend. Because we're all avoiding, we don't want to answer questions. All right, let's not waste time. Like we've mentioned, we said that this material is basically to produce in you a good writer, just like Gst101 produced in you a good listener and a good reader. Two things were the focus of Gst101. If you have gone through it successfully in your first semester, it means by now you are a good writer and you are a good listener. You can listen effectively to any lectures by now, and you can read any book and understand the book by now. Whereas the focus of this part 2 of the use of English is to create in you a good writer. Now let's go to developing the topic. You know that when you want to write an essay, for example, or you want to write a story, for instance, you are trying to give a narration about the story of a lady that you met, probably that had maybe some sad experience in her life. And maybe the lady narrated her true life story to you, and you are interested in writing the person's story. For instance, maybe the person was a dropout because the parent died early, support. Eventually, the lady went to live with her uncle in the village. The uncle maltreated her. The uncle did not allow her to go to school. Several things happened. And then this lady met you as a writer and said, please, I want you to write a biography of my life so that other young girls will learn and, we know how to live their life using my own as an example. The first thing that will be your challenge is to look for a perfect topic that will project the story of that lady. You may impregnate the topic. That means the topic might not look like the story, but eventually it's going to unfold the mystery of the story. The topic may be direct. Let's say you may decide to use patience is virtue, For instance, let's say the lady is a well-to-do lady now, but she passed through a lot, and it's because she was patient that she was able to become a great person today. So if you decide to use the title of, let's say the topic is patience is virtue, do you know that after getting the topic, you will need to develop the topic? That topic now, let's look at it in this way. The topic is just like a building. You understand? The topic is like a building on its own. This topic, patience is virtue, is like a building. You see all those stories about her childhood, the way she later tried to train herself in secondary school, the way she graduated, the way she was unable to get admission early because of money, the way she later met somebody that helped her. All of those things are raw materials. They represent like different rooms in the house. Please follow me. This analogy I'm trying to use, I just want to create a picture using something you are used to. Every one of us know how a house look like. You are living in a house. Even if you are living under the bridge in Lagos, you are still living in a house. Let's just assume like that. So, or if you are living under the bridge, you have seen houses around you. So the topic is like a building on its own. Now, each of the section that you will talk about in developing that topic, the topic is patience is virtue, but we have the story you want to develop already. This lady has already poured out her heart to you as a writer. So you have the story. The next thing now is how you will arrange the story, which we call the development of the topic. How you will develop your topic into reasonable paragraphs, so that you will not go and put the bedroom at the front of the building and put the parlor or the living room at the back. You know, when you build a house like that, then people will come and say, is this person crazy? When the first thing that happens when someone enters your house is they enter toilet. It is now from toilet they will now move to maybe another room or another before they now get to living room. You know that kind of structure is crazy in the real world. That is the same thing you do when you don't know how to organize your points into paragraphs, or you don't know how to develop your topic. This topic today is mainly to take you through how you may have a very good idea that you want to develop as a topic, but if you don't know how to arrange them, if you don't know that every piece of writing is supposed to start with an introduction to introduce the mindset or yes, the mindset of the writer, the purpose of the topic or whatever, and move to the main body, then the main body may be separated into several parts. If you don't know all that, your writing will just be so confusing, to be too ambiguous, no order, no arrangement. So let's see what the material has for us. I only use that example to create a picture of what you want to learn today in your mind, so that as you are going, you will understand what we want to do in writing. Just bear in mind, every day we are doing something in this material, or we're having a class, your main purpose is to become a good writer at the end of the day. So we are building layer upon layer, things you need to become a good writer. And of course, you need to be a good writer, because very soon in your 300 level, you will start writing POP exams when you need to express yourself, answer the question in your own expression. So if you don't know how to write, you have issues when you get to POP. This is a foundational course to help you to build a layer of ingredients, the ingredients you will need eventually in the course of your study. Now, developing a topic, I'll leave that to someone. So I hope I still have people with me. Somebody will read this whole place and explain. It's time you guys learn how to explain now. It's not only 300 level that I'll be explaining. Okay, let me see. Is Ibrahim here? Ibrahim Mohammed, are you available? You are still at work. I know some of you might still be at work, so we won't just call anybody. If Ibrahim is still at work, let me give it to, is it Tare or Tare? What's the name? Madam Tare? Or is it Tare? How do you call it? Okay, your place will not allow you to read, right? Mr. Eze, Christian, are you available? You guys are dodging responsibility.
Okay. I
All
should,
right, sir.
I should just read. I can't explain it to you.
Just read it.
Hello,
What do you say?
I will explain. Read it to us.
Okay.
is are you talking
Um,
to editor?
developing the topic.
Hold on. Let me bring it up. I want it to be big enough for everybody to see.
Sir, do you call me?
No. I think Mr. Eze is taking it already. Okay. This is what you want to read.
Eze, right?
Yes.
The topic. In order to develop the central theme of a paragraph, you have to expand the idea contained in the topic sentence. This can be done by adding more information, explanation, examples, illustrations, etc. to the idea expressed in the topic sentence. We shall discuss different ways of developing a paragraph in greater detail in Unit 2. If you read the paragraph given under Example 1 again, you will notice that this paragraph is developed mainly by adding examples.
All right. Thank you so much. Now let me bring another picture in. We have done the topic sentence before in the last class. That was what we did in the last class. And we said that the topic sentence is the main idea conveyed in the paragraph. So when you read the topic sentence of a paragraph, you've gotten what that paragraph is all about. So the main idea, for instance, now, I want to tell you that the main reason why non-students are finding the institution very uncomfortable at the moment is because of new policies. The main idea I'm passing there is that new policies affect non-students. But if I want to develop that single topic, I will need to talk at length, developing it using several things. I may decide to use examples, giving examples of students complaining here and there, different things, or I may decide to use narration, giving it in form of a story. So what we want to do here is that once you have the topic, this is just like saying you have the money and you want to build a house. The money is on ground. What is the next thing you like to decide on? The type of house that you will build. That is the same thing with the topic and developing it. So developing the topic can come in several ways. Once you have a topic you want to talk about, you can use different ways of explaining or writing the topic. You can write it using addition of information to the main idea. You can write it using explanation, explaining, and all of these are things you will later understand when you start doing POP. You can use examples when you are talking about a topic, and you can use illustrations. We'll get deep into them as we go on. Just know that once you have a topic, you must decide the type of method you will use in developing the topic. Not just, this is my topic, the topic is very interesting, and you start writing. No. Decide the type of method you will use in developing it. And mostly the type of method you use in developing a topic is dependent on the situation around the topic and your audience. So the people that will read this thing you want to write and the situation on ground. For instance, non-students are planning to protest. For instance, this is an example. I'm not saying they are protesting. Okay, non-students are planning to protest. Now, non-management needs to write to them. You understand? To convince them not to go on any protest. The situation on ground is a matter of urgency. So if you want to write, the best way to address that kind of situation would be for you to be persuasive. So the method you will use in developing that your topic must be persuasive. So if you are writing to address that kind of issue and you are commanding, you are using the command tool, you know what will happen. The student will burst and to be like, no, 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 we can't accept this. So that is what you want to learn today. When you have the topic, having the topic is not just enough. Deciding the method of development that you will use in developing it and how to develop it is most important. Now, analysis of the paragraph, the topic sentence. When you see a paragraph, you understand? When you see a paragraph in any piece of writing, like you pick a book now, you see I know all of us know what a paragraph is. We've done that in lesson 1. If you don't know it, go and watch video 1 on YouTube under Gst102. That was where we talked about paragraph. That person pounding yam, mute yourself. We don't want to eat your pounded yam, please. Mute yourself, you know you're pounding yam. So we want to analyze a paragraph now. When I see a piece of paragraph, I believe we all know a paragraph now. Let me just believe like that because okay, let me look for an example of a paragraph here. Fine. This is a paragraph there. Okay, let me start from here so that we understand. This is a paragraph. So in this paragraph now, we want to analyze all the things that make up a paragraph, all the things you will see in the piece of writing like this that will show you that this thing is a complete paragraph. What are the things we can find in a paragraph? The first thing is the topic sentence. We mentioned in class 1 that the idea behind topic sentence is that one paragraph, one main idea. When you are writing, for instance, you want to write a recipe or for maybe cooking egusi soup. You know you have several steps that you would like to talk about before egusi soup is done. You should not put all the steps in one paragraph. Don't put all the steps in one paragraph. That will be a very, 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 very tiring writing. And that is, in fact, your audience or your reader will not understand. So, the topic sentence will convey the main idea that you want to pass in each paragraph. And it is one paragraph, one topic sentence. One paragraph, one main idea. When we're talking about the topic sentence, if you still remember, we said that the topic sentence can be in 3 different locations in a paragraph. Can we mention those 3 different locations where we can find the topic sentence? If I want to write a paragraph now, what 3 different locations can I place the topic sentence? Yes, that is a question. Unmute and let's hear you out. You guys don't know where you can find the topic sentence. It means you've not attended any class. All right. As a form of reminder, the topic sentence can be found in 3 different places in the paragraph. First, at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end. And we've talked about the different locations. Go and watch the previous classes that we've recorded. We don't need to start talking about topic sentence here again. We are only mentioning it here because it is part of the analysis of a paragraph. What you see in a paragraph that makes a paragraph, one of it is a topic sentence. It may be at the beginning or in the middle of the paragraph or at the end of the paragraph. In any case, there will be a topic sentence in the paragraph. And that topic sentence is that single statement or sentence or generalization that shows the main idea that the writer is passing to the audience or the reader in that paragraph. And we'll say that it is one paragraph, one idea. So if I want to tell you how to prepare egusi, or I'm giving you the recipe for egusi soup, that is melon soup, if I want to write paragraph 1, it should be maybe how to source for the ingredient from market. So everything I'll write in paragraph 1 should not go outside how to go to the market and buy the ingredient. I should not start talking about how to cook it in paragraph 1. So paragraph 2, I may go to how to get your ingredients prepared, how to prepare them, wash them, and the rest of them. And then maybe paragraph 3, I will now start the main cooking. But if I just put everything in one paragraph, it will not make sense to the reader. The reader will not even want to, it's not going to be, you know, it will not look nice, and people will lose interest when they are reading that kind of essay. So learn to arrange whatever you want to write in paragraphs, maintaining one idea per paragraph. Now, examples given to develop the paragraph. Okay, now they're now using okay, they're trying to use one example that we've been given above. So let's continue. We said that the first one is the topic sentence. When you are analyzing a paragraph, or when you are developing a paragraph, the first thing you will deal with is the topic sentence. Then you need to elaborate the topic sentence. It is not just the topic sentence alone that you write in a paragraph. You need to talk more about that topic sentence. Okay, in this paragraph, I would like to introduce you to how to get your ingredients prepared for the main cooking activity. That is all I want to talk about in the paragraph. But if that is all I said in the paragraph, people will not understand my write-up. They will have issues understanding my write-up because I've only given the topic sentence. I did not develop it. So when you just tell me in this paragraph, I want to tell you, I would like to introduce you to how to get your ingredients from the market, and you stop there. The next thing I'll ask as a reader is, how do I get them? You not put them there. You just put, you want to introduce you to how to get them from the market, and you stop there. So how did I get them? So you must answer all the questions that will come from the readers in that paragraph. So what you now do is you elaborate, you will develop that topic sentence by adding examples, adding illustrations. Okay, when you get, if you first of all you decide the type of market you want to go, then from getting the when you get to the market, look for the particular part that sells things like this and so on. So you, what you are just doing now is you have the topic sentence, you've stated it already at the beginning, you are not developing it, you are elaborating it. That means you are expanding it to help the reader understand the topic sentence. These are things you practice when you are writing. So you see that writing is not just you picking a pen and a book and then you start rushing everything down and you are done. No, 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 no. There are some things you put or you bear in mind while writing. Now, after topic sentence and after you elaborate the topic sentence, you may need to use illustration. When you are developing a topic sentence in a paragraph, you may need to, I don't say you always have to use illustration. There are other means or method you can use, but you may need to use illustration. For instance, illustration is when you start using the word like, for instance, for example. You understand? So the illustration will help the reader to get a better picture of what you are trying to say. If you have just been talking and no example, no illustration, the people may not still understand. But once you give an example with what they know, look at the way I started class by telling you who is that person pounding. I will remove you. I'm muting you. You are muting yourself. Ozaya Adamu. I will mute you. You will mute yourself, and your place is noisy. I will remove you now. Now, after illustration, the last thing you need to do is sum it up, which is summary. You need to summarize your paragraph. Now, when you write a paragraph of your own, choose the topic and write down all that you know about the topic. That is the first step. You are drafting what you want to write. So it's not, when you want to write too, you don't just write and the first attempt is everything you want to write, the writing process starts with drafting. Okay, I want to teach people about marketing tomorrow. What do I know about marketing? You first write it down on a piece of paper as if you are drafting. Okay, I know this about marketing. This is the meaning of marketing by me. According to this and this is what marketing say. Okay, if you want to do marketing, this now you've drafted everything that you yourself you know about the topic. Now, as you make your list, don't stop to question whether a detail fits or not. Any that doesn't can be left out later. What we are saying is that time that you are still drafting the things you feel like or you wish to say on the topic, just draft everything. Don't be bothering yourself about, no, this one is not necessary. No, let me not put this. While you are drafting the points you feel like you would like to talk about, draft everything that comes to your mind. Don't remove anything yet. That is the drafting stage. Now, this will help you generate new ideas and also give you something concrete to work on. However, when you start writing, ensure that every sentence contributes to the central idea, which may be contained in the topic sentence. Only then will your paragraph have unity. Don't forget that in the previous class, we mentioned something about some qualities of a good paragraph. It must be unified. That means there must be unity, which is coherence. Everything you are building around the paragraph must relate to the central idea. For instance, in this paragraph that I'm writing now, or that I've written, my plan was to introduce you to writing. You understand? In the paragraph. Then in the paragraph, I started talking about drawing and singing. There will be a lot of confusion. It must be one idea in one paragraph, and every sentence or sentences that you will use to talk about that topic sentence that you want to develop in that paragraph must have something in common with the paragraph. With the topic sentence. So that main idea that you want to develop in that paragraph, every sentence you want to use to build it up must have something in relation to the topic sentence. Otherwise, you'll be confusing your readers. So let me stop here and ask a general question in the class. Can you guys mention some things that are needed for you to analyze or develop a topic? Yes, individual answers, one by one, or meet yourself answer. What are the things needed for you to develop a topic? Or there is nothing needed. You can just sit down and start writing anything you like or anyhow you like. Yes, what are the things
Okay.
needed? Yes, okay.
Let's see your imagination. What you imagine?
Okay. Yes,
I think you need a topic statement.
you need the topic sentence statement. Thank you. Yes, we have only two people in the class.
Illustration.
You will need to use illustration. Fine. Yes, what else?
Elaboration.
You need to elaborate the topic sentence. Talk more on the topic sentence. Develop it. Expand it. Thank you. It means you guys have been following. Now let's go to coherence. What is coherence? It's just a form of, we've talked about it briefly in the last section. Now, an effective paragraph requires more than a topic sentence and supporting details. It must also be coherent. In a coherent paragraph, the writer takes the reader logically and smoothly from one idea to the next. The meaning of coherence is logical arrangement of your points. You know, when you want to write let's say a paragraph or a piece of writing or like essay or something, you will have so many things that you want to talk about. Now you need the idea of coherence in order to be able to arrange all those your points logically. For instance, if you are your aim is to teach someone how to prepare you want to give someone the recipe for preparing egusi soup, you must start from the little things, the beginning, not that you start from the ending. Like when the thing is done and you put it on the table to serve your guest or the people that want to eat it, then you now be coming backward to when you put it on fire, then you now come backward to when you are washing your ingredients. It will not make sense like that. Coherence will tell you that you should start from how to source the material, move to preparing the materials for cooking, move to cooking, from cooking, move to serving, and then preserving the rest. If you arrange it like that, anybody reading it will understand how to prepare egusi soup, even without you being there to be showing them that this is what you do next. Because you've arranged the essay or the write-up in a logical manner. The idea you need in arranging things like that so that readers will understand. You'll be taking them from level to level, from level to level, not jumping any step that will make them confused, is what we call coherence. So, in your own understanding, what do you understand by coherence? We've passed all these things the last time. What can you say about, I want one person, just one person, contribute. What is coherence in writing? In your own words.
Uh, um,
I just finished saying it, so you should be able to say something from it. That is the last thing I talked about now, coherence.
is I'm trying not to look the one that is there on my material.
It's no longer on the
I
material.
will say I, I will explain it this way to my own personal, understanding with what you just said. Is a logical writing by which you start uh with the not with the main point, but those things that accomplish the point from the simplest to the hardest to the main point.
All right. You have an idea. Just put in mind logical arrangement of your points. Once you know that, you know
Okay.
the meaning of coherence. Logical arrangement of your points in a paragraph is called coherence. Now, transitional devices, we know those ones. Transitional devices are used to, migrate from one idea to another in a piece of writing. And those are the things like, however, perhaps, furthermore, in continuation, firstly, secondly, all those things, when you mention them, they are called transitional devices, and we use them to move from one idea to another. You see them, moreover, most important of all, in conclusion, in continuation, and so on and so forth. So you see, we've done this in the last class. It's just like we are going back. Go and watch last class video. I don't even know that we've gone back to something else. This is what we are supposed to start with today. Today's class, we're supposed to start with development of paragraph using illustration and description. How do I develop a paragraph using illustration and description? Don't forget that under development of paragraph, at the beginning of the class, we said there are so many ways you can develop a paragraph, like using example, adding more details, using illustration, description, narration, and so on and so forth. We want to deal with two of them today, developing a paragraph using illustration and description. So the illustration, we don't have time for this class one. You can't do this in 3 minutes. No, 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 no. All right, so let's use this 3 minutes to do some funny activities. What have you learned in today's class? Yes, one by one. Everybody must talk. If you are in this class, you must talk now before we end it. Let me start from beginning. Ozaya Adamu, what did you learn from today's class? Not laugh, oh. Answer. What did you learn from today's class? He's wasting my time. You did not learn anything. Okay. This person with number, what did you learn in today's class? Your name is not written there. 7934. What did you learn in today's class? You are the one, you looking on the screen. 7934.
Me,
Yes. What did you learn?
I joined the class lately, so I do not achieve anything.
Okay, what you learn is that you joined the class lately. Is
Yeah.
it OB or what? What did you learn?
Um, I learned of developing the topic, expanding on your topic, and how to arrange your topic when it comes to making sentence in paragraph.
I'll give you
And
guys. Okay, hold on. That is enough. Thank you, because we don't have time and I want the rest to talk. So I'll give you a general homework here in the class. You submit it before the next class. Submit it to my DM. Those of you that don't have my phone number, get it in the group
okay,
and submit. I don't want this one to be submitted in the group. Submit it in my DM. And the question is on the current issue on policy ongoing in the non-system. I want you to write 3 different paragraphs to talk about 3 different policies and how they affected children. Sorry, not children, students. Develop 3 paragraphs to talk about the effect of new policies on non-students. If you use AI, I will know. This homework is coming so that it will help you to practice how to develop a paragraph. We know whether you have understood that a paragraph must contain one idea. One paragraph, one idea, but you can develop it. You can use example illustration to talk more about that one idea. And it must be arranged logically using the idea of coherence. So if you have gone through this class, you should be able to answer that homework very well.
Jay,
So I'll be
thank you.
expecting your
I want to.
answers in my DM from tonight till Monday next week. Thank you for attending the class. Do have a wonderful week ahead.